In order for you to be a street motherfucker, you gotta get sponsored into that shit because, you know, society's fabricated, right? Then you ain't book smart all like that. You know, you know how to do the same thing as the book smart person, but you not book smart like that because if somebody asked you to recall some information that you learned, you're not even gonna remember that shit unless it's important. Like important as far as like how it applies to real life. And usually you'll remember it automatically because you've been through it. And you've seen it in society happening in real time. So then when you learned it in school, it automatically stuck with you as a natural occurrence to remember it. Whereas the book smart person, they learn the stuff and they recall it if the teacher need them to recall it. But for the most part, they base their whole life around the shit they learning out the books in a way. Whereas you wouldn't base your life around none of the three. Not the IQ, not the street shit, or the book smart shit. So then you got the ancestral intelligence. That's just what I'm gonna call this shit. This is where like whatever the fuck humans is supposed to be, but we're being stopped from being that. That type of intelligence always pokes through on you or on people like me. It pokes through on us. Like we always converting back to like whatever the fuck the Most High created us to be type shit. And you got groups of motherfuckers out here that monitor all the different levels of intelligence while they're being gang stalked as well. Because it's like, don't get it twisted. These motherfuckers is being gang stalked who is street smart. They're being gang stalked who is book smart, and motherfuckers who got IQ. But they gang stalking gonna be different than yours that I'm about to explain here. Their gang stalking is more or less people around them gaslighting them all the time in any type of instances where they is to break out of their programming and stop being street smart, stop being book smart, stop having IQ. It's like they got to play that role out until they die, so then they'll be predictable and controllable. But those who have that ancestral shit, and this can apply to all the other races as well, and all the other races can go through this form of gang stalking I'm about to explain. But the lowest race on the totem pole is usually the highest ranking individual in the pecking order when it comes to this surviving the game type of gang stalking. So if you're a black male and you don't act like your race as far as a level of intelligence, like going out to get Jordans and shit, drinking Henny, partying, thinking how reality TV wants you to think, telling people they ain't shit because they ain't copying rap videos as far as like how they dress and talk and move, and blowing like money on shit. Like, where you gonna get the money at? You ain't got no motherfucking gatekeepers putting it in your pocket so you can splurge. They already know you don't. So to gaslight and annoy your ass like that is crazy. But that's what they do. So anyway, you got these groups out here that pay attention to you when they see that you're not the other three types of smart, or you all three of them, but you just realize that they unuseful. They see if you are annoyed by the one headlight. Oh, that don't bother you. Okay. The workplace mobbing, they do that to you. Oh, you just quit. You ain't scared to be homeless. You just go get another job. Oh, people like you, so you can go couch surfing. Oof. Okay. Then they hit you with the people that you stay with. Always house always dirty, and they always narcissists. That don't work because you're willing to pick up and go. Damn. So then they hit you with the other little tactics, like when you out in the neighborhood, a group of people be fucking with you and shit. Like it's a group of niggas standing in one spot, and then at some point, how you walking, you kind of either gotta walk between them, walk around them, or go across the street and walk. Either way it go, them types, they be like put there to start shit with you. Now, if you ain't scared of motherfuckers and you willing to do your damn thingy, and you keep on showing this time and time again, they be like, okay, he ain't on that shit. Now, if you in other like little areas like a California or some shit, or like Mexico, or areas where like cartels is strong, even like a Chicago or Detroit, like even if you show you a stand up for yourself and all that type of shit, your best bet is to move up out those areas, because you might be able to pull that off a certain amount of times, and then eventually they'll break their rules and just shoot you in the head or something, or sneak your ass and get you that way. So if you the type that move around and you know not to be in this area or that area, you like that motherfucking sheep that's jumping over the fence all the time, man, while everybody ain't looking. If the different colored t-shirt bullshit don't work on you, motherfuckers coughing and hawking up, that don't bother you. If they witchcraft that they do don't touch you, you know, like it don't affect you, but it, because it's like you protected or some shit and they can't understand how, then eventually they start to touch your money. Slow that shit down. Like that John Carpenter movie, They Live, when the character, I guess his name was George, played by Roddy Piper, when he came into town, nigga couldn't get a job worth of shit, so they slow your money down like that, so then you won't have none. But if somehow you're able to get money off the streets or do little odd jobs and gigs and stuff, and then you just keep on fucking popping up with money, then they be like, well, we can't get him like that. Then they keep on watching you and studying you. Like, damn, this is one of them sheeps that just hop over the fence on motherfuckers. And that piques their interest. And then that makes them want to, employ or deploy them dirty redneck meth looking types. They follow you around the country and shit. They got access to technologies. And every time you in a different city or a different area, these motherfuckers have the access to hit the gatekeeper up in that area, or the foreman, or the overseer, or the rest of the gang stalkers who are part of that community. Who, these are traditional gang stalkers like y'all talking about. The kind that really just be walk following people around and shit, fucking with them. All right. They text them and say, hey, I'm new to town. I'm one of y'all. I'm looking for somebody. And they say, okay, we seen somebody new walk through our area. Yada, yada, yada. And he'll be like, that's him. Okay, we'll keep an eye out. You go into a store, you walk across the parking lot, you get on a bus, you go on McDonald's, whatever you do, all these eyes peeping you and watching you. Now, these hillbilly types and redneck types, some of them be having like abilities, like they can smell you, like animals can smell when they hunting, and then some of them got remote viewing abilities as well. So the whole time they doing your ass like they did Ice Cube on that movie Surviving the Game. Like you in a whole different city and shit. And they constantly following your ass. Now, you wondering like what kind of gang stalking is this if they ain't doing nothing to me? What they trying to do is understand who you are. Everything about you, from your DNA to your mind, how you think. They trying to like just absorb almost everything about you all the way to like 100% of it. Then what they do is they might send a woman your way when you out and about in one of these places to see if she can trick you or get you to do something or put something in your food or whatever, or touch you with something that'll make you sick. But if she able to successfully do what she do, whatever makes you sick is not just gonna make you sick, it's gonna make you sick over time. These motherfuckers play the long game. They hunting you the long way. So like examples of this is like Muhammad Ali. He was able to talk shit for the longest time, and then eventually they did something to him when he was younger that finally caught up when he got older. I believe they fed him some mechanical disease parasites, because you know he was always eating steak and shit, and then it eventually evolved in his body over time, and that's how he got trapped in this chair and was shaking and shit with that old Parkinson's disease bullshit. And then he looked like his mind wasn't there and shit. Because, you know, if they never did that to him, he wouldn't have looked nothing like that. He still would have been young, still would have been able to, you know, do all the things he do. They did that same shit to Michael J. Fox's ass. Michael J. Fox, back in the 90s, was like moving around like how meth heads do now. He was like one of the first motherfuckers actually on TV looking like that shit. So it crosses the boundaries of color. But in their world, I'm talking about their world, they love melanites who exceed above the level of the rest of them, their peers. And don't get it twisted. There's some peers out there that's very aware of this shit, so they play dumb their whole life. Now look, I'm an equal opportunity. I don't trust none of you motherfuckers. So it don't matter the color to me. And the very known capabilities of these two different groups, black and white folks. See, black folks, they always trying to find a way to get you to trust them so they can sell your ass up the river or the boat and set you up for some possible white folks that they tied into. And then white folks, they always want you to trust them, and then they can play the long game with you. And they give you stuff, feed you stuff, and over time, the stuff they giving you is like making you become sterile and fucking you up. So then they can sacrifice you. So black people be trying to throw you under the bus so they can get a good life towards those white people. And then white people always trying to gain your trust, so then eventually they can sacrifice your ass themselves. Now everybody ain't like that, but what I'm saying, motherfuckers is known for that shit. And this underworld version of gang stalking that I'm talking about, this the underworld version, the surviving the game part. So you know how to go to this homeless shelter, that homeless shelter. Oh, don't know how to hop on the trains, man. You official. And then you know how to set up camps and stuff. Oh man. So like all the traditional noise campaigns, the gaslighting, all that stuff they usually get everybody else with, that type of shit don't bother you because you keep it moving and you already see how this world's set up. The police harassment don't bother you because you make sure you stay out the way and shit and keep away from certain shit, so they can't be sitting up here trying to fuck with you. So then they let the hillbilly motherfuckers come hunt your ass all across the country, bruh. And what they trying to do is like eventually hit you with a mechanical disease like they did Ali, or how they had one in Michael J. Fox. But they gonna you know, get this mechanical disease from one of they nerdy scientists laboratory comrades or whatever. They got that shit from one of the alien groups that sponsored a little nerd geek scientist motherfucker. They pass it along and pass it down, and after they get done studying you, they tailor made this drug to fuck you up, or this parasite or mechanical disease to get you, because they seen how strong you is in different little areas. And the goal is to break you down over time. You know what I mean? But the way you get broke down is way different than other people. Other people allowed to just break down over time due to natural occurrences. Getting broke down will appear as natural occurrences as well, but they're not. So then you can't do the regular parasite cleanses like everybody else. And all this stuff that I'm talking about earlier in the other videos, where you do like laxatives and clean your body out, and you do biofilm cleaning. You have to come up with like a whole different system, like where you play with frequencies and vibrations and energies and sounds and lights to be able to get rid of what they throw in your ass. But they like to do it subtly and shit. Now, next to the underworld type of gang stalking, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The Greys and the Men in Black, they just shoot frequencies at you, do weapons and shit. You know what I mean? Now, if they shit don't affect you, then they just continue to let the hillbilly motherfuckers follow you around and shit, bro. Or the redneck types. And this is fun for them, because the ones that they pick to do this, they family come from a bloodline of motherfuckers that like to hunt. So they always got the deer meat. They stay out in the cabins and shit, and they know like what part of the moss on the tree, all that bushcraft shit. You know what I mean? They know how to track steps inside of the woods differently than me and you. Like, me and you, we'll look in the woods and we won't be able to tell somebody walk through that shit unless they got on some perfume or cologne, or there's a distinctive smell that just stand out to the human nose. These motherfuckers can smell shit like your body odor, how it smell without all of that. And they can track your steps and tell that you walk through that shit, even if it don't even look like nobody walked through that shit. So this type of hunting that they're doing is satisfying their tracking abilities. And this type of gang stalking is designed to catch up with you and fuck you up over time. And then when you hit like a certain age, you just start declining this shit out the blue. Regardless if you eat healthy and you watch what you eat and you very aware of all this stuff. And these people all around, they aware that these motherfuckers is hunting your ass and shit. Whether it's law enforcement, the neighborhood, your own family, people you grew up with, niggas use your friends. Because some of these people, they may not be gang stalkers, but they very aware of the stuff that people that they related to is a part of. So they know about trafficking and all kinds of different shit like that. So if you this number one smart Negro and shit with that ancestral energy, and you move a certain kind of way in the matrix, you're going to have these types gang stalking you most of your life, follow you around, subtly trying to set you up without it even being detected. And these is physical, real life people that you can reach out and touch. And if you knew they was doing it, you can fuck their ass up. Unlike the other gang stalkers who acting like zombies, who unaware of what they doing and shit, because the matrix is controlling them. So yeah, it's like surviving the fucking game. That's a real thing. And you get put on that motherfucking gang stalking plan, which is an older one, if you show that you different.